Hello friends, today we are starting with the first session of factors of production. Factors of production are some things which are very essential for every production activity. Land, labor, capital and enterprise, you must have learnt, are the very important factors of production or are the only factors of production with the help of which every production activity can take place. Even one out of it is not there, production cannot be completed. You know that, okay? So in this session, in this chapter, we are going to learn about characteristics and features of land, labor, capital and enterprise. But in today's session, I will be taking up land. So in land, we are going to learn about the definition of land. The definition of land is given by Professor Cancrose in the textbook. That you have to write in the exam, because there are other definitions also. So Professor Cancrose says that land and economics can be defined as all those free, not only the surface of the earth but all those free gifts of nature, like then you can mention like forests and mountains and water bodies and rivers and oceans, the supply of which is amenable to human control. So basically the definition is simple. The first part of it says that it's not just the surface of the earth. The second part says but also. So but also, then you include the examples. And the last part is important. The supply of which is amenable to human control. That means you can control the supply of such natural gifts. For example, can you control the supply of sunlight? No. Can you control the supply of rainfall? No. So such things cannot be included in land as per economics, but can you control what you can extract from the forest? Yes. So the supply of forest extracts is up to the human beings. Similarly, what you can extract from beneath the earth by mining is very much within our control. So such things can be included in economics. It may sound very weird that how can you include minerals and mines in land or even forest in land. Forest is not land. But anyway, going by the definition in economics, this is what the definition is. I will repeat the definition so that you can memorize it. Land not only includes the surface of the earth, but all those free gifts of nature. Like river, ocean, forest, mountains, the supply of which is amenable to human control. After having done the definition of supply, we shall now take a look at the characteristics of after having done the definition of land, we'll now take a look at the characteristics of land. Land is a free gift of nature. Land has been given to man at free of cost. You have to write that man has to pay nothing in order to acquire land, as it has been given to man by nature free of cost. Limited in supply. Land is limited in supply, as in supply of land cannot be increased or decreased, but supply of other factors of production can be increased or decreased as per the requirement of firms or human beings or producers. As we know that labor can be trained, and we can increase the supply of labor and even capital. Primary factor of production. Why is land a primary factor of production? Because without land you cannot start any production. So it's the first and the foremost thing that you require, and also because every production activity is dependent upon land for the supply of raw material. For both the reasons, land becomes the primary factor of production. Land is passive factor of production. By passive we mean it cannot do anything by itself. It needs efforts of human being to work on it. Only then it can give yield or output, or it can give some productivity. So land is a passive factor of production. It cannot do anything by itself. It requires human effort to work on it. Permanent. Land is permanent. That means land is indestructible. Land cannot go out of existence. you can say that even if a nuclear bomb is thrown, land cannot go out of existence. At the most, the area where the bomb is thrown can get destroyed, or there might be a ditch created or something like that. But what is exactly to be written is given in my notes. You can refer to my study material. Precisely, it contains all the notes that are required from the exam point of view. So, coming to the permanent thing, land cannot disappear as it is indestructible. Coming to the immovable or fixed, land is immovable, or in other words, land is fixed. That means land cannot move from one place to the other place. In two senses, it is fixed. Land cannot move from one place to other place. And another thing, the supply of land is also fixed. Now that limited supply is also coming here once again. Land which is given to a particular country. When we draw the map of India, the border of India, that is limited, that is fixed, that is not going to change. So in this sense, land is fixed. And in another sense, how land is fixed? Because land cannot move from one place to another. Suppose if rent that the land gets in Mumbai is very high, so land in another small town cannot walk from there and come to Mumbai in order to have itself paid higher rent. That sounds very weird and very absurd. So land is fixed in two senses. Land cannot move from one place to another place in order to acquire higher remuneration for itself, and land for any country is fixed in supply. The area of land which is given to any, which is under the territory of a particular country, is fixed. It cannot be increased or decreased. It varies in fertility. Then you have to mention your topography and whatever you have learned in geography, that give example of two regions, that how it differs in fertility. Also mention that efforts can be made in order to improve the fertility of land. So you can refer to the notes and you will get the precise note on land, how it differs in fertility. Is just comprising of examples like how land in Punjab is very fertile, and how land in Rajasthan being not sufficiently rain fed is barren. So you can give the examples of such two regions in India. Coming to land differs in location. Land differs in location meaning land is very scarce in big cities like Delhi and Mumbai. So it fetches a very high rent. So wherever there is scarcity of land, at such places land will command very high price because of the scarcity. Similarly, land differs in location meaning land which is located near the river valley would be more fertile than the land which is on the mountain slope, because on the mountain slope it will not be fertile, as it will the silt and the minerals contained in the soil will be carried down by the water flowing across the slope of the mountain. So it cannot be fertile, and all the silt that flows, you just have to explain the topography and saying that the land which is near the river bank is most fertile as compared to the land on the mountain slope. Similarly, for the farmers, land which is located near to the market region is always preferable than the land which is located away from the market. So there are 3 points that you have to remember as far as land differs in location. Land which is in big cities is scarce, therefore it commands high rent. Land which is located on the mountain slope, and land which is near the bank bank of the river is more fertile, and the land which is located near the marketplace is preferable to farmers as compared to land which is away from the marketplace, as the farmer has to pay high cost for the transportation. So these are the 3 points that fall under differs in location. And land has many uses. In that you can mention about all the various uses for which land can be used. Land can be used for setting up transportation network, land can be used for building industries, land can be used for obviously cultivation, obviously agriculture cultivation, and you can mention various uses to which land can be put to. So the best way to learn the characteristics of land is to refer to the study material, read it very carefully, go through, remember, memorize, and write it down so that you'll be able to get the confidence as to how to write it in the exam. Now, as far as the headers are concerned, you can do any 5 properly from the exam point of view, but you cannot eliminate the rest of it because they can ask you a separate question from, say for example, you omitted differs in location. But they can ask you separately how land differs in location, explain, for 2 marks. So you'll have to do all the points. Okay. Now if you have to remember all the points together as the features of land, I put it in a chronological order, and that's the way how I remember. So differs in location, free gift of nature, fixed, immovable, differs in location, free gift of nature, immovable, land has many uses, limited in supply, PPP, primary factor of production, permanent and passive, and varies in fertility. So DFILL, PPPV, differs in location, free gift of nature, immovable, land has many uses, limited in supply, primary factor of production, passive factor of production, permanent, varies in fertility. Alright, so this is the abbreviation of the starting letter of the characteristics of land. So having done land over here, we shall continue our discussion in the next session.